Hey, everybody. I'm here with Sean Shaw, and he is the Democratic nominee for Florida Attorney General. Thank you so much, Sean, for taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule today to talk with me.
No, of course. Thanks for having me.
So, Sean, can you tell my listeners and my viewers here on Twitter, on Periscope, and on Facebook Live a little bit about yourself and why you chose to run for Florida Attorney General this year?
Sure. I was born and raised in Florida, so I'm one of the rare people that has always been here. I was born in Jacksonville and raised in Tallahassee, and I was raised in Tallahassee because my father was on the Florida Supreme Court for 20 years. So he was the first African-American Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court, Leander Shaw, and so it shouldn't be a surprise that I grew up to be a lawyer, and I grew up to be someone who certainly has reverence for the rule of law and for fairness and for justice. So I went to Princeton University for college, University of Florida for law school. The Gators just beat LSU, go Gators. And then I came back home and worked as an associate at a statewide law firm, Ackerman Benefit. Then I was asked to be the insurance consumer advocate of the state of Florida by Alex Fink, and that is the job where you are essentially the person who is sticking up for insurance consumers all around the state, appearing at rate hearings, keeping the rates low, helping them through the claims process, making sure that the legislature is passing laws that are fair to the consumer. I was the consumer advocate for the state of Florida, and that was all areas of insurance: property, workers' comp, health, life, all of those types of insurances.
And
so
windstorm,
did that, and then,
right?
Oh, go ahead.
And windstorm too, right?
And all that,
Yeah.
all of that. Yep.
So,
And so we did that, and then I moved to work on Alex Fink's gubernatorial campaign in 2010. When she was unsuccessful, I remained in Tampa, and I joined a law firm that I still practice law at. And at that law firm, I represent homeowners against their property insurance company. So if an insurance company doesn't pay your claim, you would call my law firm, and we would represent you against the insurance company. And so in 2016, I got elected to the Florida House of Representatives, and I got elected on a kind of a slate of affordable housing and criminal justice reform and public schools and protecting consumers and kind of everything I've done my entire political and professional career. And here we are. I decided to run for Attorney General specifically. It's the best office in Florida. It's the office where you can do the most good for the people. The job is simple. You're representing the state of Florida. You're the people's lawyer. And all I'm going to do is spend my time making sure anyone that's doing wrong in the state of Florida, that we're going after them. And that includes someone committing fraud on the streets of Miami. It may include the legislature. It may include the president. Whoever's doing wrong, I'm coming, and I intend to be the most aggressive attorney general in the country in that regard. The job demands no less. And I decided to run for this primarily. It's the job I've always wanted. I grew up wanting this job. I grew up in the halls of the Florida Supreme Court wanting this job, even when I was a little boy. But the president was doing things that I really couldn't do anything about as a member of the Florida House of Representatives. I certainly could as the Attorney General of Florida, where all these attorneys generals around the country have joined lawsuits about whether the president is profiting from the presidency. It was attorneys general who stopped the Muslim travel ban, and the Facebook Cambridge Analytica lawsuits, and all these things, the detention center lawsuits where you shouldn't be housing kids in detention centers and ripping them from the arms of their parents at the border. These are things that attorneys general can do, and that's why I got in the race. This is just the best office for protecting people, going after bad people, and making sure everyone is treated equal under the same rule of law. And here we are. We're like less than a month out, and I feel great about it.
well, actually, Florida's Attorney General has had a lot of dealings with Donald Trump over the last 8 years. It's something that I've written very extensively about. Do you think that saga is over? Because the primary person that objected to the big settlement, which, by the way, didn't include the Florida Attorney General, did include the New York Attorney General, but the only person that objected to the Trump University settlement was a lawyer in the state of Florida. Do you think that that's something that's actually finished, or is that something that we might see some Florida enforcement for if we see a change of direction in the Florida Attorney General's office when people vote Democrat this year?
I mean, we're looking into all of that. We're looking into whether the president is using charities for not charitable reasons. We're looking into the emoluments clause stuff, whether he's personally profiting from the presidency, what's going on with his businesses in Mar-a-Lago and our foreign dignitaries staying there to try to gain influence with the administration. All of these things are on the table. I'm going where the law takes me. I think it is totally inappropriate what Pam Bondi did to take that $25,000 and essentially not investigate Trump University. I hope if I've made one thing clear during this run for Attorney General here in Florida, it's that I am not Pam Bondi. I am the exact opposite of Pam Bondi. I don't want to run the office anyway like she has run the office. I represent change in the Attorney General's office in almost every sense of the word, not only in substance but in style. This is going to be a total change of direction from Pam and McCollum before her. The people of Florida are going to get an Attorney General who is going to be aggressive and who they can count on to go after anyone, including the president, if they're doing wrong. No one is above the law, and they're going to have an Attorney General who, for once, and for the first time in a very long time, is going to be aggressive about going after bad people.
So we talked about insurance a little bit, and there is a big hurricane coming towards North Florida. What is the Attorney General's role in dealing with the aftermath of hurricanes? Because I don't think people realize that the Attorney General actually has a very important role after hurricanes hit, regardless of how bad it is.
Super important role. I mean, listen, and I know this area very well. One, price gouging, and that happens before and after a hurricane, and it's awful, and it's people taking advantage of other people at the most vulnerable time, and it's illegal, and it's the Attorney General who goes after these people. So before and after a hurricane, if you're a gas station, if you're a hardware store, if you're a small business, if you're a big business, and you're engaging in price gouging, the Attorney General is someone who is going to come after you and make sure that you're punished for that. In addition, it's the claims paying practices of insurance companies, that they're making a practice of not paying claims, and they're doing it for a reason that's related to their profit line. The Attorney General has a lot to say about that and can go after those sorts of bad practices. And you can best believe, as someone who's very familiar with insurance consumer issues and being a consumer advocate and being someone who currently practices in that area of law, I'm well aware of the different reasons insurance companies may give for not paying claims. Some of those reasons are okay, some are not. And when they become kind of they give generic reasons and they're engaging in sort of these practices that are unfair and deceptive, that's when an Attorney General should and will get involved if I'm the one up there.
So in the current administration, including it's an all-Republican cabinet and a Republican governor, something very controversial happened, and not every Floridian realizes it, but it affects everybody. The head of the FDLE was fired, and it fired outside of the sunshine. And unfortunately, nobody went after the Florida governor for taking that action. And in fact, I did interview Governor Scott about it. Unfortunately, the interview only lasted 10 seconds, long enough for me to ask if he would appoint a special prosecutor, to which he replied, I have to go. And I did agree he should have gone. But what can we do as Floridians, could you do as Florida's Attorney General to avert that kind of situation from ever happening again in the state of Florida? Because I don't think people realize it, but that was almost like firing James Comey.
Listen, you bring up a very important issue. You brought up a lot of issues, and the answer to them is that the people of Florida have to hire an Attorney General who's willing to go to bat on those issues. The Attorney General is the office that is going to enforce those sunshine provisions. And the governor has spent millions of dollars in taxpayer money to fight against sunshine and to be able to do things, and he'd rather pay a lawyer than to actually do things in the sunshine. I'm a huge proponent of the sunshine law here in Florida. I think the more sunshine we have, the better, even if it's annoying to us elected officials. Like, sometimes we don't want to go through all this. Sometimes we don't want everything to be in the sunshine. I get it. I'm an elected official now, but we should. The law's there for a reason. So even if it is me being a thorn in the side of someone from my own party, being a thorn in the side from someone in another party, the sunshine law is going to be enforced. It is going to be adhered to when I'm the Attorney General because I believe in it, and it is the law, and it should be enforced no matter how inconvenient or uncomfortable it may be. And I think it's important that we do that so the citizens of Florida know what's going on. Some of the things that happened during the Scott years, you're exactly correct, just people don't know. And if you try to, even trying to navigate some of the websites that are supposedly sunshine friendly, or this is the website where everyone can see what's going on. Some of those websites I don't think are even compliant with actually giving people what they're entitled to under the sunshine laws. I'm going to be someone that protects that and stands up for it because I believe in it in my heart of hearts. It's important to the people of the state of Florida, no matter who you're making uncomfortable. One of the criticisms I have of Pam Bondi is that she acts like she is the general counsel to the Republican Party. That is not the role of the Florida Attorney General. You are an independent watchdog who represents the people, not anyone else but the people. So I'm telling you, even if it makes people from my own party uncomfortable, we're going to enforce the Sunshine Law.
Well, Sean, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me this afternoon so I could share it with all my social media followers here. Can you tell them where they could find out a little bit more about the campaign and find out after the hurricane where they can meet up with you and say hello? Because it's another 29 days to go. I'm sure you're going to be out there.
No, well, we have a Facebook page, of course, and my Twitter is at SSHAWFL. Our website is Sean Shaw, SeanShaw.com. Go there. Really, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at SSHAWFL are the best ways to kind of follow and see where we're going to be. I'm going to be in Tampa for the next few days, and then we're driving to West Palm and Jacksonville and Orlando, some other places, and we try to put some of those things certainly on Facebook and Twitter so you know where we are. But listen, this is the last month of the campaign. We're going to run through the finish line. We feel very good about the race. I feel very confident. Floridians want to vote for someone for Attorney General who is about change, who is about protecting their access to health care, and who wants to do something about this gun issue. And we represent all three of those, and my opponent does not. We feel just very good about this. We're going to work hard, but November 6th, I feel very confident I'm going to be the next Attorney General.
Well, again, Sean, thank you for your time, and hopefully we'll catch up on one of the podcasts or the new radio program, which I haven't even announced that I'm going to be producing yet, but it's starting on Wednesday, so
Awesome.
Can't wait. We'll talk soon. Deal?
No, I appreciate you having me, man. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Thanks.